Welcome back to, I don't even know what to call this. Let's see. Teaching Machina? Spiritual Teaching Machina? I don't know. We'll come up with something. I'm going to throw it out there. Let's go. Okay, so what I have here is our, what do we call it again? What was it? It was the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious iceberg. So this is something that most people, I don't know if most people actually do know what it means, but in treatment you're shown it. It's one of those things that you learn. This is an iceberg. I know, I'm such a great artist. I mean, the Titanic, seriously, I should have drawn a little ship there. I'm kind of half tempted to do it now, but I'm not going to waste people's time drawing the Titanic. Okay. I so want to right now. Okay. Now, suppress the impulses. Okay. Conscious mind. This is our waking mind, right? Okay. 5% of it is being used all day long. Logical thinking, willpower, short-term memory, and critical thinking. 5%. This is the thing that is so insane with people, is that people do not realize that our subconscious and our unconscious mind are what control our lives every single day. This down here is what controls everything. Now, the subconscious and unconscious is your beliefs, long-term memory, protective reactions, imagination, controls all systems in the body, programming, emotions, values, intuition, fears, and self-image. So realize that programming was one of the biggest ones for me. We have all been programmed as human beings. By our government, by our family, by our friends. We are basically programmed to believe a certain way or think a certain way for so many things. There are so many programs that are running rampant in our brains that need to be rewritten. And I say rewritten because you have to understand that no program like a supercomputer can just be deleted and it runs smoothly. This is the same concept of 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, The Greatest Salesman. That kind of thinking is that you have to take one bad habit and make a good habit out of it. Take the program, the bad thing, the hurtful thing, and rewrite it to something good, to something positive. Okay? So, why I bring this up is because of the fact that this is where people start to understand that what we have learned, what we were trained to learn, what we were trained to know, what we were trained to do, all came from programming, from it's all a deeper layer. It's our trauma trains us. Our there are things in there that have been so repressed that as we get older, as we heal, as we grow, they're going to come up. So you have to deal with it. All our entire lives are controlled by this right here, this whole thing. Now, it's one of those things that you can change that. We have access to be able to change that. We have the ability to be able to do that. It's just going to take some work, because realize that everything that you have been doing in your life is because of all of this. So the people that you have in your life, the relationships that you've had in your life, if I were to tell you that you will consistently repeat what you know, you will repeat what is familiar to you, because that is your subconscious and unconscious mind. Meaning that I married a man that was the epitome of both my mother and my father. Because, you know, I'm an overachiever, and Freud would be so proud of me. He's very proud of me because of the fact that I decided to get a 2-for-1 deal. Okay? You are going to date, if you have trauma, if you have, if you just had a crappy childhood, if you had crappy parents, if you had all of that and you have not dealt with that, if you were trained to believe certain things, you're going to carry those on. You're going to repeat those. So I, again, followed in those footsteps. Something that I realized that it was in treatment, and I was in the treatment center of, I was in House of Hope, and I was with a bunch of females that have all been through a very similar trauma as to me. I realized that some of these women were out there dating men that later they came back in and told stories of those men that they were dating that were doing things to their children. I later figured out that my grandmother, the one that is the mother to my father, the one that abused me, my father was the one that abused me, she had 3 children. All 3 children had different fathers. She was abused. It was a pattern that kept getting repeated. She was abused, and she would find men that she got pregnant with, that she thought that she needed a man to help her survive. And back then you kind of did. Let's be real. Like it was very, very uncommon for women to survive as single mothers. It has happened, but not as common as now. She got pregnant from a guy that later turned out to be a predator as well. And then she left that guy and would go to another guy, and he turned out to be a predator as well. And this is the pattern. Women that have been abused and have been sexually abused, even as children, that have been used like that, will continuously go for guys that feel familiar. They will date men that are predators. And in turn, those men that are predators, they'll be the ones that they stick with, the abusive ones. But when they come across a good guy, when they date a guy that is good and kind and considerate, they will self-sabotage. And this is not just men. This is not just women too. This is men too. Men have this exact same. It is a global thing. A global thing. It is not just one, because men can be abused as well. Men have been abused as well. I know plenty of them. Some that are still in denial. Some that seem to be working through it little by little, that I know of. But anybody that is a good person, that is a good human being, that is kind and all of that, you will run from. You will self-sabotage. You will do things to prevent you from being with that person. It is a pattern that I have noticed because you will date what is familiar. Many women, Freud believed this, that women will date their father and men will date their mother. And this can kind of go in the same concept as like if you're into the same sex. You will be with someone, if you are more in your masculine, you will date someone that is more in the feminine of your mom, and vice versa. So it's a pattern that you have to become aware of to be able to break it. For me, the pattern is emotionally avoidant men. That was one that I noticed I kept seeing it repeated. Men that were emotionally unavailable and avoidant, and putting me in third-party situations. Many times too, the crazy thing is that I was dating guys that were already married, that were still married, that I was the other woman. Which is like I was repeating the pattern of what my father was. It's like, and that's why, again, I am still dead set on healing and breaking that pattern, because I don't want to keep repeating that said pattern, that same exact pattern. I'm not going to do it. I refuse. I will not. So again, why I stay single and why I still go out and date, like I'm still trying to date, but I'm also being cautious about it because I'm trying to make sure that I don't repeat the pattern. And when I have somebody try and put me in a third party situation, whenever I see that happening, I walk away. I won't allow it. It just isn't going to happen. I change the story. I'm rewriting that story every single time. It's being reframed. But that's the thing, is somehow that's also me, because I am also avoidant. I am anxious avoidant. I have struggled with that one because of the fact that it's one of those things that, like, with anxious avoidant, I want to be loved and I'll smother, but then I would get like scared and they'd get too close and then I'd run away. Now, not so much. Now I'm, working through a lot of that. It's still bit by bit, piece by piece, little by little. It's a work in progress. And so why I bring that up is because my subconscious and my unconscious is bringing these people into my life for me to fix it, for me to change the story, to rewrite the story. You are going to have people in your life that are representations of your mother figure, of your father figure. You're going to have representations of people that are your siblings. If you have siblings that you have, bad situation with, friends that you grew up with that may have done you wrong, you're going to continuously repeat the pattern until you stop the pattern in its tracks. Now, that's why we are so freaking powerful. We are so powerful to be bringing this stuff in. And that's why it's so important to rewrite all of this. Because you can't do it in your waking day and be like, oh, I'm going to go left. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go with that person. It is a consistently conscious effort to change it, but there are ways to rewrite it. There are ways to redo it. There are ways to change your habits. There are ways to change your thought processes. There are ways to change your beliefs in yourself. There are ways to to, what are some of the other ones I'm looking? Change your values. There are ways to heighten your intuition. There are ways to work on your memory. There are ways to bring up the trauma so that you can work through it. So many different ways. Now, the biggest one is to become self-aware. You need to become self-aware of your surroundings and of what's going on in your life so that you pay attention. Do you get deja vu? Does someone remind you of someone from your past? Is there something that someone does that you're like, this seems familiar? Really take a look at it. Really ask questions. That's the biggest thing, is like, I will automatically notice who is playing a role of something that I hadn't fixed and now I get the chance to fix. It's kind of a game in for me. When I change the story, I change my beliefs about myself. When I change the story, I change my values. When I change the story, I build up more trust in myself. It's so many things. Like, when you use these things, then you can manifest better things in your life. When you work through the muck and all the stuff down below, you can actually create a better reality. But this is all you. This is yours. You've got stuff down there. You've got stuff hiding in the deep, dark corners of the basement. You gotta get a flashlight, and you gotta go down there, and you gotta start searching. You gotta start bringing all that crap up. Because again, you are not going to get where you need to go when this is on autopilot. When you are doing things that you can't control. Whenever you are making choices that you have no power over. When you are doing things that just keep happening because your body is reacting only because it knows that. That's what it knows. If you want to get to where you want to go, if you want that unconditional love, or well, conditional love in a way. I mean, let's be real. Because we're just not giving that love to anybody. Like, it's not, no, it's conditional now. It's conditional. You can have love for someone, but that person has to prove that they deserve it. I'm sorry. It's just how it goes. It's naive to believe that, unconditional love, and no. If you want my love, then we're gonna have to be on the same page. There's conditions. I'm not gonna be like, work for it, but I'm saying you have to be a good person. I have to be able to trust you. There's conditions. Just saying. But to get to that self-love, to get to that point where you can fully, your autopilot is making good choices, your intuition is on point, you're going through life and you're just like bam, bam, bam. You gotta get there. You gotta change a lot of things to get there. But it is doable. It is. I have been working with my unconscious and subconscious a lot. And I have a technique that I will share that helps pull the things out that need to be pulled out to build that relationship and everything. But right now, this lesson is mostly on understanding that we don't exactly have a lot of control with our environment until we start trying to change this. Once we start changing this and updating it and making it better, we have control over our environment a lot more, and in the context of like having a better environment, in the context of becoming a better person, being who we want to be, having what we want to have, being successful, having love, all of that stuff. So again, these all tie into my lesson, all the lessons that I have talked about so far. If you have any questions, please reach out. You can please like, share, and subscribe so that we can make sure that this information gets out to the people that need it. I know so many people say that, but now I actually truly get it, which is so crazy. Now I'm on the other end. Here we are. But if you have any questions, or if you want to reach out to me, or if you would like to have me as your guide, your mentor, whatever it may be, if that's what you want, then you can email me, and it's in the link below. I love you all, and I wish you the very best on this journey of healing, and you got this.